Hey, Hiko, how you doing?
I'm okay. It is dark. I have to be quiet, but
We
yeah,
have zero viewers.
you're looking good.
We have zero viewers. This has never happened before.
What's that?
No viewers.
0 views. Enjoy the silence.
Nobody is
Say all
here,
the things you want to say now with no one around.
Stick up for clothes and dance.
Alex K, there's one in there now.
Oh, hey, Alex, how you doing? Hey, now it's starting up on the. We have a commercial, of course, right away.
Much excited.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Are you? I've been sick, as you.
Oh, of course. You're coughing up a lung, you said.
Yeah, it wasn't. It's not that bad. I'm just really exhausted at night. Like I went to bed like 9:30 p.m. 2 nights in a row.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, I guess it's good. It's good, but tonight I don't know why I'm not that tired.
Well, that's good.
I just had a class actually. I just did a Skype class. I had to cancel it from my Friday night, and I moved it to Saturday.
Yeah.
But I guess I was pretty excited about this new scandal. So, on second thought,
Well, there have been so many of them, though.
Maybe. Oh well, let me ask you what you think. Let me pop over some medicine.
Yeah.
Show must go on.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, someone hinted last week. Why do you think you made that joke? You better get your liver checked out.
Yep.
My first one in 2 days. So there you go.
Well, there you go. That's a respectable period of time.
Gotta let the liver rest one day, right?
Yeah.
So I told my brother I was a little bit sick, and he immediately diagnosed me with walking pneumonia over the telephone.
Walking pneumonia.
He's a genius.
Well, he's a smart guy.
So I'm assuming you heard about the Trump thing.
I mean, I wish I didn't. I wish I couldn't. But yes, unfortunately, we have this 18-month-long non-stop pro wrestling reality show called the U.S. Democratic electoral system.
Uh-huh. They're really pushing the limits of democracy, aren't they?
Well, the thing is, when I was a kid, my dad was in the New Zealand Army, and he was in Special Forces in New Zealand Army. And when people would ask him, they'd confuse him with his cousin sometimes, who was an engineer.
Mm-hmm.
He tells me once he got someone who was being very rude, and he was looking for my dad's cousin. He would explain, he's not the Mr. Hiko Simon who helps people. He's the Mr. Hiko Simon who kills people, and that's what he killed people for a living.
Your father?
And, yeah, I mean that was his job, and
your father's actually killed people?
I don't know. I've never actually asked, but but he's been into war zones and shit. The point is, when you do something like that for a living, even though New Zealand's not a very ideological country, he was very ideological. He loves America. He loves everything that America stands for. And this is during the Cold War, right? Wow. The Russians represented totalitarianism, communism, when we represented democracy. And whenever I would say anything bad about America, or anything bad about, something stupid that America did,
mm-hmm.
he would say, they're the ones who protect democracy. They're the ones who ended World War II. They're the ones who, complain all you like. Without them, we'd all be lost. And I was always told in the household, my dad listened to country music. We weren't allowed to badmouth America, although I would.
I got to meet your dad someday.
I'd love you to meet my dad. But the point is that he believed, to the point of being willing to sacrifice himself and die and fight for democracy as championed by America.
Mm.
So as someone who grew up in a house with that kind of ideology, it's kind of upsetting to see what's happened to American democracy. I mean, it's never been perfect, right? It's always been flawed. But come on, I mean, what the fuck? And for all of this, I mean, even without this latest scandal, the fact that he was only behind like 2 or 3 points, the fact that 44% of Americans know that he's got, that he's basically corrupt, sexist, racist, has a charity, all the sort of stuff that's known about how unfit this person is. For all the very intelligent Republican friends that I have, and I've got a lot of some of the smartest people I know are Republicans, actually. Some of the people I have the highest respect for are Republicans.
Despite the fact that they're...
Well, again, I don't really give a shit which party people support. But the thing is, I know a lot of really, really intelligent people that I respect very much who are from that party. And we've got this guy who's running the whole thing like a cross between WrestleMania and Tina Tequila's, looking for love. And this is what you get. And it's scary because he's being so successful with it. I'm worried that the next election, everyone's going to do this and try to do it even more. So it's kind of sad,
He's raised the bar by lowering the bar.
Well, he's done what, basically they discovered with Big Brother, I think was the first big reality show, wasn't it? They figured out that you can make low budget, stupid, if you stop pretending to appeal to people's intelligence, you can actually get more views by actually aiming the opposite way, by actually aiming the plane down. You can actually draw more attention. And I don't think, here's the thing, I'm still convinced Trump never seriously wanted the nomination. And I still think he doesn't want to win. I really think that. I think this is a publicity stunt that, it's like Brewster's Millions, where it just got out of hand and he became too popular by being extreme and by trying to throw it away. People wanted someone who wasn't restrained like people are. But seriously, I mean, I don't know. It's crazy. So it's kind of sad. From that's my opinion. And this latest thing, you know what I hate the most about it? In his apology, he said, "Well, yeah, I said it. I'm sorry. It's not as bad as what Bill says."
The video apology or the first written apology?
The first one. But then he kind of advertised the next debate tomorrow night, right?
Oh, and the video apology then.
Oh, was that the video apology? I don't know. I've just read about it.
The first one is, if anyone was offended, I apologize.
Yeah, and whatever it was, Bill, Hillary's husband says much worse.
Bill said worse to me on the golf course.
Yeah. And then he said, but if you want to hear me argue back and talk about all of this, watch the next debate. He basically, again, it was like a pro wrestling promo. And the problem is,
pay them. I mean, they're making so much money for the networks. That next debate's going to make so much money.
I want to watch it. I hate myself for this. I want to watch it. I want to watch it the same way that I wanted to watch Ultimate Warrior fight Hulk Hogan in WrestleMania 16. I'm watching the world fall apart, but I'm actually curious to see how she attacks him on the scandal and how he picks on her husband.
Yeah.
I mean, it's morbid curiosity that the world is coming to an end. Who would have thought that actually the Republican candidate in the U.S. presidential election is actually less of a threat to the world than the North Korean nuclear program at the moment? Or sorry, the other way around. North Korean nuclear program is less worrying to me.
Less of a threat, yeah.
It's less worrying to me personally than the U.S. Democratic election. That's my opinion.
Even though the missiles are right down the street, right?
I mean, yeah, they've got the missiles. We have an insane dictator with nuclear weapons 2 hours flight from here. Mm-hmm. And I'm more worried about, honestly, the debate tomorrow night is a danger to me personally.
Well, what's the worst that could happen? The worst that can happen is well, I don't know. Let me not say. What is the worst that could happen in the next month? By the way, today is the 8th, so the election's in 1 month from today.
Crazy. I mean, again, including Japan. In Japan, in New Zealand, Australia, and Britain, you're not allowed to start campaigning until 1 week before the voting. They still wouldn't be allowed to campaign for another 3 weeks.
Waste of money and attention.
You've been doing this for 18 months, and this is all going to start again in, 2.5 years? In 2.5 years after this election, this is all going to start again, 18 months ahead of the next election. What a waste of time. What's the worst that could happen?
Well, in your opinion, Trump gets elected or Clinton gets elected? Choose.
Whoever gets elected, government ceases to function, someone gets assassinated, the US basically stops doing all the things that it does, international security, international center of the world economy, all that sort of stuff gets significantly disrupted. And in that disruption, all of these sort of little wars and conflicts and all these sort of, countries trying to take advantage of the change in the balance of power. If the US pull the forces out of, Asia Pacific, China might try to grab territory. Russia might try to grab territory.
So
the whole system could fall apart.
Almost a civil war, a civil political.
I don't care about America. It's the impact that having a paralyzed America would have on the rest of the world.
Right.
Well, what happens to America, they're doing to themselves, but it's what happens to everyone else that scares me. Personally, that's
you don't care about America. You care about the rest of the world.
They care about everything, but yeah, at least America has some control and responsibility over what happens to it. The rest of the world's kind of at their mercy in a way, and we've always relied on them having this system. That's not perfect, but works better than other systems to keep to help look after the rest of us, frankly. And it's kind of scary that well, who knows? Who knows?
I heard what was it?
So what do you think? I'll see what I think.
Wrestler became a governor of Wisconsin or something.
Minnesota. Jesse the Body Ventura.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I like him. He's a good speaker.
I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Arnold Schwarzenegger, governor of California. Jesse the Body Ventura, governor of Minnesota. Not so bad.
He pointed out that something Putin said. Putin. How do you say his name?
Putin. I don't know. Yeah.
Putin said that, why are you guys thinking we're the aggressors when we don't have any bases outside of Russia? And the U.S. has tons of bases all over the world. And I thought that's a good point,
Well, they're being the aggressors because they're trying to put bases outside. They're trying to change the status quo. America's always had those there, but they've always been, welcomed and hosted. And Russia in the news today announced that they are actually reestablishing bases in Vietnam and Cuba.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they're going to make their bases in Syria permanent. So they are going back to the old base. Yeah, actually, that was in the news today.
Oh, wow. All I've been watching today is about the grab her by the pussy. Yeah.
Well, understandable. But, no, I mean, look, Russia invaded Ukraine, and, they're pretending that they didn't. They did. They invaded Georgia. They would invade.
They claim it's all theirs anyway, right? So they don't really call it an invasion.
Well, Crimea, yes, but the eastern half of Ukraine, no. I mean, again, to me, killing people is kind of drawing a line. That's not to say, America kills tons of people all the time, with drones and stuff like that.
Yeah, to kill Americans.
And to kill Americans, I'm not saying America's great, but, but they're, again, actually invading countries, like nation-to-nation scale. Russia's doing that. That makes you an aggressor. I'm sorry, Mr. Putin. It's a nice argument, but America's frankly just holding bases.
No, you're right. It's one of those. It's one of those things that make you think for a second. But if you really think about it, those bases in America are protective.
And hell, I'm not defending. America. What am I talking about? Actually, America's. How many countries has America invaded? Putin's got a point.
We invaded and we let them go.
But that's me. That's me. So, like I said, I grew up with this flawed ideological household. What's your take on what's been going on?
Well, let me ask you about this Trump thing. Do you think this news about this new scandal, I'm a superstar, I can have sex with anybody I want, and
you can grab them by the cat,
grab them by the P word, but he says I can grab them by the pussy. The truth is, he's right. That's completely.
You can get away with sexual assault?
No,
there are lawsuits about sexual assault.
People want to have sex with you.
Well, maybe. I don't know. I haven't experienced that. Have you?
Well, we have. In a sense, we have by being in Japan. Some of us, to a much lesser extent, you get this kind of special treatment and this. That's what I
hear. I don't know it for a fact, but sure, it sounds credible. I'm willing to go along with it. That you get groupies, and maybe he's had groupies. I go along with that. The idea that
he didn't really lie. He wasn't really lying. He wasn't. And are you really surprised? Basically, anything that he said it's no different than what he's been saying in the past, or what he's been accused of saying in the past. So.
Well, he was more specific. I think the two details were that. The fact that he was basically describing non-consensual sexual assault. If you get to a point of consent, of confirming, if it's a groupie or whatever, I get it. But, if thinking I'm a star, it's going to be okay anyway, and maybe it is 9 times out of 10, but that 1 time out of 10, you go to jail for 20 years,
Yeah. No, you're right. No, you're right. He just grabs women by the pussy, but do you really think he does that? I don't really think he does that. But.
I don't even want to think about it, to tell you the truth. I don't care. Why am I being subjected to this information? That's what I want to know. Seriously, I don't want to know. Why?
When I first heard the news, I thought it's done. He's over.
No, he's going to lose.
About it. The people who support him are still going to support him.
I don't care. Yeah, I reckon this is good for 2 or 3 percentage points, max. He's not going to drop below 40. He's like 43, 44% now. He's not going to drop below 40. He could actually murder someone in public live on TV in the next debate, and he would maintain 40. You know what else? Think about this. If you're Hillary right now, you're at a debate tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
What do? I mean, you've manna from heaven. You've been given this great scandal. Do you go after? Do you go after it strongly? Do you sort of let it sit there and act presidential? Do you go after him?
I was thinking that if I were Hillary, and I would open the debate by saying, you know, you like to talk a lot when I'm not here in your speeches, and like to call me Crooked Hillary, and talk about imagined infidelities. And I'm here now. I'd like you to you don't have to hide behind your crowds. Just talk to me directly. Say it to my face, basically.
Yeah, I don't think she would do that though.
Well, not say it to my face, but at the last debate, he said, I didn't want to embarrass Chelsea because Chelsea was there.
Yeah.
Right? And Chelsea said, I've heard all. She says, I've been attacked my whole life. I've heard it all. Like she knows exactly what her father's been accused of, et cetera, et cetera. Right?
Well, two things on this. One, the only way I can rationalize or understand, I don't think that Trump is unhinged or stupid. I think he's actually quite smart, and he's being deliberate about what he's doing. If you think about this purely as a reality TV type publicity stunt, I've seen this before. Every reality show I've ever seen, the people who win or the people who get most popular, they always have an arc. They always curve up. There are 3 debates. I think he was deliberately.
I'm embarrassed to say, or no, I'm proud to say, I've never seen a reality show.
No, that's good. I mean, you're the 1%. So I watch a lot of reality TV. I've never seen The Apprentice.
But I got YouTube, right? We got our own.
Yeah, this is reality TV. But for these competitions, there's always an arc. Whoever looks really good in the beginning, like on a singing show or a talent show or anything, there's 12 episodes. It's a marathon. It's the people who sprint at the beginning. Even if they're the best, clearly, people tire of them. And it's always the people who they didn't notice, but who sort of come up at the end are the ones who are the most popular. In the Republican debates, he destroyed Jeb Bush. He destroyed one by one. And he was completely unrestrained how he tore people apart.
Yeah.
And not restrained about what he said. He says, I know that Jeb Bush can be bought because I used to buy him. I paid for him. I know what that was to me devastating that he's the first guy to say stuff like that out loud. Second debate, the whole first debate, he says, hey, I was good. I held back. I didn't want to embarrass them. He's going to turn that up. He's going to turn on. And the point is, Hillary opening this subject, which looks like a free line to him.
This is his playing field.
She's walking in. She's going to open the gates of allowing him to talk about Bill, to talk about what Hillary did to the people who complained about Bill, to this, how, as he's already alluded to. So I don't know. It's just scary. It's like, if she just, in a way, it's almost like it's the Admiral Akbar issue. It's a trap.
You're right. She thinks she's baiting him, but actually, he's leading her right where that's his realm. That's his world.
And how unethical is this entire situation? That you could almost say, if the guy actually doesn't want to win, but he does want to get massive publicity and destroy Hillary and be seen to win the debates, even if he loses the election, it's almost like this video could have been leaked on purpose. You know what I mean? I don't want to go conspiracy brother on you, but seriously, I think this is setting things up for completely his. But the fact that this election has just become talking about this sort of stuff, that it's been about these stupid tweets and about this crooked so-and-so and about the, grab them by the. What in the hell has happened to democracy? To government. What is it about? Is it, The Apprentice times a million?
I wish I had seen that show. I was just reading about Trump now. I didn't realize that he has a star on Hollywood.
Oh, there you go.
I can't believe that. That seems like I feel like it means Hollywood's not worth anything. Did you see what Robert De Niro said today?
I read about it. I read he wants to punch him in the face.
Which again, if you like Trump, then it's not going to affect anything. If you don't like Trump, it's just going to irritate you.
But if all that you're after is publicity, and it's already pretty well established, especially in the reality TV realm, that even negative publicity is good publicity.
That's debatable, though.
It's debatable, but, the fact that we're here talking about it when I completely don't give a shit and I don't even want to look at it anymore, and we're talking about it, and De Niro is doing speeches that he wants to punch you in the face.
Who?
Publicity.
Who wants to punch you in the face? Oh, De Niro.
De Niro.
I thought you meant one of our commenters here.
No. So,
well,
yeah,
I don't know.
All of that said, I've got no qualification to talk about it, but oh my God.
It might take 3 points. Do you think it'll take about 3%? I'll give you that. People on the fence. It might have taken away their. If they were leaning his way, it pushed them.
How could anyone be on the fence? That's the other thing as well. I mean, that's great.
Apparently, some people are on the fence. Yeah.
Well, and I know a lot of people don't like Hillary, and there's a lot of good reasons to not like Hillary as well. But holy shit! I mean, it's not. Frankly, you have no choice, America. There is no choice.
Hillary is a politician, and all politicians are.
And she lies, of course.
Dishonest. That's part of their.
We depend on them lying in part. I mean, because you elect people to make decisions about stuff that shouldn't be put up for referendum all the time, and you elect people for their judgment and their ability to govern.
Well, did you hear about the leaks from her speech?
Oh, the secret speeches.
Yeah. So again, the same thing as Trump. Nothing really surprising. I mean, everything that you expected, right? Nothing really new. Just confirmation of she has a public face and a private face.
And the fact, I suppose, that she gets paid how much for those speeches?
A lot. But that's
like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Trump, she made millions of dollars off that.
Well, again, the problem is if you're comparing to Trump, you might as well just compare to a moss-covered rock. Seriously, I mean, we should hold her up to at least an average person standard. I mean, it does defy common sense. The fact that her speech to Goldman Sachs
going down.
Sorry,
did you see that? The price of gold is going down.
Really? Why is that? Everyone's buying gold.
Because people buy gold when they're panicking, when they think
exactly.
Economical situation is worse. That means that they think that Trump is going to lose.
But coming back to Hillary, in a normal election with two normal candidates, with a Republican like the Republicans, I know who are quite smart and intelligent and reasonable people.
Most of them actually are, yeah. Two
reasonable people. The fact that Hillary's taking basically a $300,000 speaking fee from Goldman Sachs for going and giving a private speech at Goldman Sachs, well, that's a very convenient way to get a $300,000 cash bribe from Goldman Sachs, right? I mean, and she does this at lots of places, and she gets paid, extreme amounts of money for a speech, and that objectively looks, terrible. But in the end of the day, if there were two credible candidates, that would really work against her, and she might even be so tainted that she couldn't really run as a proper candidate now. Mm-hmm. But the fact is, we're talking about her and Trump, so frankly, all of that stuff just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But, what do you think about all this?
Paying for that.
Sorry?
He would be one of the people paying.
Well, that's what he says, and to me, that's like his best slogan is, I know how much she costs because I pay for her. That's it. No one can buy me because I buy other people. I mean, to me, that's just a stupid one-liner, but it really actually works more than anything else going for it.
Have some billionaire also elected to the president of Italy was some kind of
Berlusconi.
Yeah. What happened to him?
I think he's in and out of jail. Sex scandals, corruption scandals.
He went to jail?
I don't know if he actually went to jail, but he was certainly. I mean, all sorts of stuff.
Last I heard, they discovered that orgies have been.
And I was actually debating on Twitter today whether continuing the democratic system on the downward spiral that it's going on, that we're going to have to go through this again 2.5 years from now, where everybody's going to use Trump's strategy, to win, or whether we just have 10 years of someone like Berlusconi, which would be worse. And I said, I think actually doing another election like this would be worse than 10 years of a corrupt. Sexist moronic dictator. I think at least you'd have stability.
We haven't actually talked about this, but how do you feel about Trump?
I understand why people. I understand his appeal. I don't pretend to not understand why he has supporters, but there again, I think even when you think in the abstract, when I can understand why people would want someone like him, why you'd want a successful businessman, why you would want someone who's not owned by lobbyists and vested interests, why you'd want someone who's not an insider, why you want someone who's promising to go and shake up Washington and make people feel like their votes are actually resulting in a change to Washington rather than having Washington always tell them what to do and ignoring how they vote. All of those things, I get why you would vote for someone like Trump. But the problem is, at the end of the day, you actually have to look at the person. And you know, how that passes a reasonable person test, even with all those things he's got going for him. I mean, frankly, all he has to do is sit still and shut up. And, you know, he could probably win.
He can't sit still. He can't control himself.
No, you know, but basically he's tapped into the American Idol, you know, apprentice Tina Tequila looking for love, America, which is most of America.
Looking for love?
Yes, it's actually a show. It's probably the worst reality TV show ever.
Isn't she broke now and she's begging for money on Patreon or something, or GoFundMe? No, seriously, and she supported like some Hitler, some white.
Yeah, she's a white. Well, she's a Vietnamese white supremacist.
What is it, Filipino white supremacist?
She's anti-Jew. She's Vietnamese. Yeah, she's got a lot of issues. But there again, to me, the pinnacle of decadent, you know, oh my God, what is society coming to reality shows is her show, and I think that Trump is taking it a step beyond. You should look it up, seriously, if you want an introduction
I've seen a little bit about it. I've seen other shows, but I've seen like YouTube clips about it.
Yeah.
I thought she was very attractive back in the day, but
yeah, she's quite attractive. I mean, you know, she is nuts, seriously nuts, but she's quite cute.
I don't even know why I know about her, but anyway.
Well, actually, that's right. I mean, at least I've watched her show.
Well,
so what do you think? Yeah, you can ask me what I think. Tell me what you think.
You know, I think that if Trump becomes, here's my only problems with Trump.
Yeah.
He makes a lot of promises, but he doesn't explain how he's going to do anything. Like, the day I become president, crime will stop.
Sure he does.
I'm going to be the biggest job creator, but how? He doesn't explain how he
makes jobs. He makes jobs all the time. That's what he does. He's good at making jobs. He's going to get the Mexicans to pay for them.
But when you can't, I'm a great negotiator, but if you're a great negotiator, then you should win the debates, don't you think?
Well, like I said, I think he's sitting. I mean, I hate to admit this because I really don't. I want all of this to be over, and I don't even want to be interested. But I think the next debate's going to be interesting.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. Luckily, it's a holiday here in Japan.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Tomorrow, actually, yeah, tomorrow morning will be Sunday night, so we'll be able to watch it.
Yeah.
Looks good. He did porn.
Really? Are you talking about Utada Hikaru? No way. So we both looked at this. It's funny how we both clicked on the comments as soon as Christina.
No.
Oh, me.
Hiko.
That.
Hiko did porn, it says. See?
How did that comment come up? And how did you know?
Well, but the thing is, if Trump becomes president, I don't think anyone will work with him, and I think government will be.
Well, that's what I mean, and that's actually the biggest danger. That's the biggest danger.
But Clinton apparently has been very successful in reaching across the aisle and getting and working with both sides.
Of course, she's a liar.
Very successful with it.
Yeah, you know, she lies about stuff, and that's how you get people from other sides to join together, and that's what politicians are. And she's a politician.
Yeah, politician and a liar. But I honestly think Clinton has our best interest at heart. I think the thing about her.
You know what?
Huh? Comparatively.
I'm not so sure even of that. I still think, even if not, I think she's bought and owned by lobbyists. I think the medical lobby, the gun lobby, the whatever lobby, she's more aware of where her personal wealth comes from than people who vote for her. I think that's her biggest flaw. But that's it. Unfortunately, that's kind of normal. And this is the thing. I love an alternative candidate, and I like Bernie Sanders. I love an alternative candidate to challenge her, but again, the problem is that with Trump, frankly, I don't think there's a choice, even for all of her flaws. I think you got to vote for her. But I would even question whether she's actually got Americans' best interests at heart.
Really? You think? Well, what do you think she's there for?
Well, I think she's there to influence policy the way that she thinks U.S. policy should be. I think she thinks of national interest, but I also think that you talk about like the bailout of the banks, or you talk about the invasion of Iraq, or you talk about. I mean, is she really putting the average American ahead of? Sorry.
And I think as a woman, I think you got to usually vote for the more aggressive choice because people just are going to assume that you don't have the balls because you don't. So I think,
Oh, you mean that they overdo the testosterone?
overcompensate. I mean, that's really
Not
sexy to
always.
say, but I
Not
think
always,
it might be one
but
of
there are a
her,
lot of examples. Yeah, sure.
you know, as her image as a woman in politics, she's got to show that she's strong and she's
tough.
she's on the team. And the
No
thing is,
question.
she's not the only person who voted for all those wars. It wasn't like
Yeah.
he voted and it was done, right? All those people voted together.
Yeah. So it's not that I'm questioning even those votes. I'm just saying, is she thinking of the average American first, or is she thinking higher than that? Is she thinking about America's strategic interests? Is she thinking about the banks? Is she
America's
thinking
interests and Americans? It is different.
I think we're different, and what she sees as being those interests are influenced by all the people that she talks to every day in Washington, who are other politicians, lobbyists, other diplomats, other national heads, and that's her world. Do I think she's thinking about the average working guy in so-and-so Texas? No, I don't think she thinks about that very much.
I definitely don't think that Trump is thinking about those people either.
Of course not. Of course not. Well, like I said, I don't think there's a choice in this election. I really don't. I think the fact that 40% are even considering.
What do you think of Johnson?
Well, here's the thing. I wish Johnson had a credible chance, but I don't like.
I don't think he's that bad, actually. But I think
I don't think he's that bad. But the thing is, the U.S. voting system, it's based on there being a winner takes all, right?
Mm-hmm.
One person takes all. So it's designed for basically a choice of two people. And if you add a third person, what always happens with the third person is that the third person, if they're successful, the more successful the third person is they will take out the candidate that's closest to them.
Right.
So when Perot came in, was it W. Bush lost when Perot came in, when he disrupted the election with Clinton, Perot, and Bush. If Perot hadn't been there, Bush would have beaten Clinton.
Was it 1992?
92.
1992, and Perot was actually beating Clinton and Bush at one time in the polls.
Well, that's right. But who was he taking more votes from? He was taking votes from conservatives, or people who would have voted Republican more than Democrats. And so Perot took out Bush. And then you had Gore versus W. Bush. Nader did really well, and and Gore lost by less than like a point whatever of a percent.
Votes, right? Yeah.
You could almost be guaranteed the Green voters would have voted for the Democrats if they hadn't voted for Green, right? They didn't want to vote for Gore. They would have voted for Gore if Nader hadn't been there. So Nader took out Gore. W. Bush won.
I gotta. Do you watch this woman? Do you know who this is?
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen her.
Not a big fan.
I don't think she's funny.
Really?
Good way to put it. I've never seen anything that's made me laugh. It's not that I think
got more balls than anybody else out there right now.
I've seen you post some of her stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
do you like any of these people here? Do you like any of the political commentators? Oliver or Trevor Noah?
I like John Oliver.
I love John Oliver too. He's great.
I have trouble finding Trevor Noah or what's her face there. Personally.
What about Seth Meyers?
Yeah, I like Seth Meyers.
I like his time for a closer look show. But anyway, well, yeah, I think you're right. I think the Gary Johnson is going to hurt Clinton. But it's funny, Samantha Bee is like, she actually had Gary Johnson on the show. A couple times she interviewed him and everything.
You know what, by the way, I haven't watched Daily Show ever, like pretty much since Jon Stewart left. I've hardly watched Trevor Noah or her, but what I've seen, I thought, I don't need to watch more.
I like the Chinese reporter that they have on there. They have this Chinese American reporter. He's really funny.
Okay, yeah, again, I should watch it.
Check it out. He does this great report on, he makes fun of Fox News, but anyway, Gary Johnson, yeah, she's like, she's telling everyone, you're idiots if you vote for Gary Johnson. You're just throwing your vote away. But he does it in a very funny way.
You're doing more than that. You're throwing your vote away, and you're killing the person that you would have voted for instead, and you're helping the person that you don't want to vote for. So you know what I mean? If you're a Democrat who can't vote for Hillary, so you vote for Johnson instead, you're actually supporting Trump.
Yeah.
That's how it works, and that's why the system's kind of messed up. All these countries like Sweden have a proportional system where every vote gets recorded and represented equally in Parliament.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good system. That's what Japan has, a kind of. We changed in New Zealand from the American system to a German or Japanese type system. So as a result, now we live with lots of Greens. Japan has communists. Everyone gets represented. I think the American system, which we used to have in New Zealand, and we decided so bad we changed it. I think it's wrong.
Yeah, it's a screwed up system. So I was talking to Mully today, and he has this. I hope he doesn't mind me telling you this, but he has this theory. He thinks that Trump will win in a landslide.
Wow.
But he thinks that the electoral college.
Yeah.
He thinks they're not bound to vote. They're not bound, right?
Which again is retarded, but yes, if you pardon the expression.
They will refuse to vote for Trump. I mean, he says that's one possibility. And that's never happened before, right?
I'll give you another possibility.
I'm pretty disappointed, actually. I think if Americans want Trump so badly, let them have Trump.
I'll give you another possibility. I think it is a possibility that he will win by a landslide more than the polls show. Like with Brexit, whenever they did all these polls around Brexit, people didn't want to say that they supported Brexit because they were worried that they would be seen as racist or whatever. So they wouldn't tell pollsters who they would. But when the vote happened, the poll was like 10 points off. It was actually, it wasn't a landslide, but it was way off. And it was these people who didn't want to admit to pollsters. Mully might be right about that. There might be people who are embarrassed to say that they'll vote for Trump, but actually on the day will vote for him. It's possible.
So in the Atlantic this month, they had a really interesting article, a study actually, that people who voted for Obama actually felt more comfortable in theoretical hiring situations, hiring a white guy over a black guy. So once they voted for Obama, they felt like, okay, hey, I voted for a black guy. Now I can do what I really want, and I'm going to hire this white guy instead. So actually, it's really interesting. Actually, the fact that Obama was elected actually may have exacerbated race relations, and it's made people more open to show their racism because they said, hey, we already elected a black president. What else do you want? Now I'm going to say what I really feel. And things that they would kind of keep under the covers or keep to themselves in the past, they're not, and it's pretty fascinating, and it kind of makes sense.
God, it's painful. It's just painful to think about or listen to it.
You see what I mean, right?
I do, and it's possible, but damn,
it's possible, yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about something else real quick.
Pineapple, a nice pineapple. I was going to compliment you on your pineapple.
I was wondering if anyone would notice that I had this pineapple back here.
Yeah.
I got to do something with this, man. I mean, it's the parodies. Oh, Mully's there.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah. Mully pointed out something else. He said that when his mom, or him or his mom, or I don't know who else, they see Trump, vote for Trump cards all over suburbia, but no Clinton.
Yeah.
So that's weird.
But let's face it. Who's going to be a passionate supporter for Clinton? I mean, she's been around forever. Everyone kind of knows all of her history. They know all of her sort of flaws or whatever. And people vote for her because if they're going to vote for her, they're going to vote for her because it's a sensible choice. I haven't detected or feel any passion at all positively towards her. And remember, that's why Hillary didn't get the nomination when Obama was going, and she was going against him, right? So yeah, I kind of get. Whereas Trump is new, he's exciting people. I get why there are passionate Trump supporters, and there are not so many passionate.
She's old. Nobody's excited by her. Right? Just to point out, make sure that everyone understands, Mully is not really for either side. It's the theory that we're talking about.
I think we're talking about theoreticals, and I think that's clear. But I kind of get, if the Democrats had found a new face, which Sanders kind of was in a way. I mean, a new name to get excited about, you'd probably see more banners.
And they're still excited. Some people are still going to write his name in.
Whose name? Oh, Sanders. Yeah, that actually would be. Yeah,
that is really throwing away a vote, but
it really is.
Mully's
they don't have the choice. They don't have the choice.
Anyway, what do you think about the stupid song, PPAP song?
Love it. We're singing it. So your son, he's talking currently now?
No, I showed it to him. He got bored. He watched it for one round, and then he's like, he got bored.
It's really popular at my lad's school. Everyone's singing it. So yeah.
I was invited last week to give a speech at a high school.
Yeah.
So I went to this high school, and I went in there. Just Just because it was on my mind, I just said, "Hey everyone, what's this?" There's a room of like 100 high school girls, and a couple of people said, "A pen?" I said, "Yeah." And I said, "What's this?" And then like half the class said, "An apple." And they all just started laughing their asses off. They thought, "Oh, he knows about the PPAP song." And as I was leaving the school, I was just there for one hour. But as I was leaving the school, people who had been in that little, I guess my presentation, they were like doing this to me as I as I walked out.
And
which is pretty vulgar if you think about it. High school girls doing this to me.
Again, thank goodness we all knew the correct context for that. I mean, someone who just showed up at that moment, that could be...
I said, I still got it. Look at girls are doing this to me. High school girls.
Thank you for tainting that enjoyment I have with my child.
No, everyone knows it though. But my wife didn't know it. She'd never heard of it.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen
Justin Bieber likes it.
Yeah, but apparently that's what made it big. Apparently he's a uretenai owarai-san.
Yeah,
Urenai owarai-san. He's a very unpopular owarai-san or comedian.
He's had his moment of fame. Good on him.
Yeah, well, that video just this weekend got 10 million more views.
Yeah.
So hopefully I hope he gets a bonus for that. I don't even know who controls that channel. I doubt it's him though,
It'll be his talent agency, and he'll probably, get taken out to yakiniku.
Yeah, look take out,
Yeah, but I think it's great, and you know what? This is what I love about Japan is that again, I've said this over and over. In New Zealand or America or Britain, everyone's being posers all the time. They don't want to be seen to be liking something uncool. People are self-conscious about what they're wearing or what music they're listening to or whatever. In Japan, people really just don't give a shit. And as a result, I think Japan is actually less creatively restrained by the need to appear cool all the time, that people can enjoy this stuff.
Everyone likes handsome people and beautiful people, but Japan is one of the few countries where you can actually be really butt ugly and be really popular. Yeah. Yeah, you can be fat and butt ugly and be really
popular.
And
not only that, you can be too good looking to be successful as a talent. Like they actually, they always try to hire average looking people.
That's why you and I can never, we can't break.
That's right. That's why I had to give up those dreams as soon as I checked through immigration.
What was the other thing about that? Something about good looking, blah, 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 blah. I forgot now. Oh, I forgot it.
Got thrown by the good-looking comment, but
but the parodies out there are pretty boring in general. Most people just dancing to the song. So,
but some of them are quite good-looking, so I'll watch for a while.
But someone asked me like a week ago, "Aren't you going to make a PPA piece?" I had no idea what they were talking about. So
yeah.
But hey, let's talk to some of our. Let's go through our.
One thing we should also mention, if you have more than 10,000 subscribers but less than 100,000 subscribers, you have until 6 p.m. tomorrow to apply for YouTube NextUp, which is basically your Willy Wonka's ticket to becoming a pro living off YouTube YouTuber. So they give you a bunch of money, a bunch of special training, and a bunch of support. All the biggest channels on YouTube now, pretty much, or a lot of the most famous ones, have all been through the NextUp program. And it's if you are eligible, it is something worth aiming for.
Yeah, so just to explain, some people have no idea what you're talking about. YouTube offers money and training to people who win the NextUp contest, and it's basically an application.
Yeah, you just apply for your channel to be selected to be one of the channels that YouTube will support in the sort of lifting up NextUp, the next up and coming YouTubers program.
You'll get they'll take you to Tokyo, and you have to be in Japan, of course, and
6 other countries. They're doing it in 6 countries at the same time. But yes, we're talking about the Japan one.
Send everyone to Tokyo, do they?
What do you mean? No. They're doing it in America. They're doing it in America, Britain, the places that they have YouTube studios.
Are the deadlines all the same day?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Everywhere in the world is tomorrow.
Okay, so you might be in your respective country. Yeah, check it out. But in Japan, they'll send you to Tokyo on, I believe, November 17th, is it?
Mid-November, they said, yeah.
17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st. So 5 days that weekend. And you get training, and they give you, I think the prize is 250,000 yen.
Yeah, so buy a nice camera with that.
$2,500.
Some software.
And I believe, I don't know, I would imagine they put you up at a hotel, but I'm not sure about that one.
Well,
imagine
unless you live in Tokyo, in which case I imagine you have to use the train. But the point is, it's not.
Okay, I don't get that, but
It's not the trip that's the point. The point is you get, first of all, you get cash. Two, you get a lot of intense focus training on how to become a top-level YouTuber, including stuff that most people don't necessarily figure out too easily about, just how to become a sort of a YouTube business person as well as a YouTube creator.
Mm.
And then after that, frankly, there's a lot of support which comes after that as well. A lot of the YouTube promotions involve NextUp alumni. A lot of the big ads, some of the big end-of-year campaigns and so on, they're all NextUp people. So basically, you get YouTube backing you and your channel, which, carries a lot of weight.
Yeah. And you get to meet YouTube people, and they're probably, you make good connections. It's always good to have connections. Everything in Japan is about connections.
Yeah, that's right.
One other person that I'd like to introduce, a woman I recently came across named what's her name? What the hell is it? I thought I just put
Princess Tea Party. You just typed.
Super Princess Tea Party. Oh, it's just like coming up on my side. Why can't I see my own comment?
Don't know, but I can see it. Anyway, Super Princess Tea Party.
Princess Tea Party. All right.
Sounds like a Trump supporter.
So she is this cool chick. She's in her 30s, though she looks like she's a teenager. I thought she was a teenager. She's in her 30s. And she does these pretty ballsy videos. And she's not really a J-vlogger per se, but she did a video response to Mira, Canon Gen 3 the other day. And, I don't know how she found me, but she's like, check out my video. I'm really pissed off. Apparently Canon Gen 3 made a video claiming that Patreon is why she won't do Patreon. And apparently talking down. And this woman does Patreon, by the way. And she's got a very small channel, but she does very well on Patreon. Comparatively speaking. So she's got some talent, she's got some balls, and she's not afraid to say fuck you, which I always admire in a woman.
Yeah.
She's pretty gutsy. She's fun to watch. So check her out. I don't know anything much about her except she seems pretty cool. Super Princess Tea Party, which is a really weird name for me to be promoting, but anyway, that's her. What? Anyone else on the anyone else new you found recently?
The channels, again, I haven't been watching. I have been watching the announcements that have been going around about this Google Home thing, and I'm kind of hopeful that they're going to introduce.
Excuse me, I'm about to die.
Yeah. I love how he only does that when I'm talking, not when he's talking, and headphones are back on. He can hear me now.
Maybe I do have the walking pneumonia there.
Pops, I've got the black lung. I think I got the black lung.
Excuse me.
Do you watch Zoolander?
There we go.
Yeah. Have you watched Zoolander?
Sorry. I think I'm done.
Okay. Never mind.
We gotta get You Can Do It on the show. He's an Osaka J-vlogger.
Sounds good. In fact, we get
on the show actually. Anyway,
so Claudia makes a good point. Dying is not good for your health, and you should get some sleep. I should go as well. But
it was really short tonight.
Yeah.
But I want to say thanks to a lot of people came in. We haven't seen Coco Rain in a while. She was in. Christina, thanks for coming in. Bradley Sharon, Mata Gaijin, as always. Chandler, Bradley, Mr. Cordy Cop. You guys had a good little fight there. A little back and forth.
Good fight.
Here's one final thing I want to say. The U.S. will survive. No matter what happens.
But see,
in 1 month, if Trump becomes president, well, then we're going to have at least 4 years of a lot of humor.
No,
scary situation, but there'll be a lot of humor.
It'll be longer than 2.5 years because that's when the next election will start. And, because it's an 18-month campaign. And no, I'm afraid of what America will become. And so I don't know.
But America will survive.
Yeah, it'll become like a zombie basically. But yes, it will move around.
It might even suffer quite a bit, but it'll come back.
Well, maybe Victor, maybe we need you to make America great again after.
I'm very hopeful in the American. I believe in the American people. But if they want Trump, let them have Trump. Let them have Trump for a while.
Yeah, I wish they'd just pick a smaller, more isolated country to experiment with Trump first, you know.
That's the one thing. I wish Trump had been the governor of something, and then people would say, "Look, he did a great job in New York." And
They can put him in Puerto Rico. It's an island, you know,
it's not a
they can
state.
locate it. Sorry?
It's not a state yet, so
I know, right, exactly. So they can cordon it off, you know. If he can be successful with Puerto Rico, give him the rest of the country.
yeah,
That's
sure.
my
Why not? Yeah, yeah. Make Puerto Rico great again.
seriously. I mean, Puerto Rico needs all the help it can get.
I hope everyone appreciates that I did go out and get this T-shirt.
Yes, I saw people
my
noticing the shirt.
People complained about my dump Trump shirt, which I just thought was funny. But I got this T-shirt for the same reason. I thought it was funny. Oh yeah, there's actually. Oh, I'll do this later. But I met when I was in San Francisco. I did some stand-up comedy. I think I told you. I met some funny Japanese guys.
Yeah.
I have to promote that video. I have to make the video first. But also give this video a thumbs up.
Yeah.
And thanks.
Please.
And if you have any good PPAP parody ideas, please send them to me at askgimmeabreakman@gmail.com, because I'm going to make a stupid parody video, but I want to make it really ridiculous. So
Yeah, it's got to be epic. It's got to be different.
it's got to be epic. So I got some ideas already. I got something in the works. But if you got things you want to get some ideas for me, send them to me. And thanks, Hiko.
Yeah.
We'll be on your channel next week.
Cool. Yes, on my channel, where we'll be better prepared, and Victor will have
And
at least one functioning lung.
Frog in my throat anymore.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Well, have a good night, everybody.
Good night, guys. Peace out.
Peace.
Bye. Okay.